Alright, so I've decided that I'm not getting a lot of books anymore from the library. I just don't have time with my schedule. Work kind of goes up and down. Sometimes I have a lot of hours, sometimes I don't. And I don't always have time to get the library on time to return books. I never seem to read the books that I get. Not that I'm not interested in them, it's just, I gotta go at my own pace at this rate. So I might get a few graphic novels here and there, or maybe some short books like Goosebumps or whatever, but longer books, I'm just gonna have to kind of wait on those. If it's something maybe like on a TBR that I have to get to, that I have like some kind of goal for, I might pick out that one book. But for right now, I really need to focus on the books that I have at home because uh, I have more in storage. Hopefully, they're still good. And I'm never going to get through the books that I have at home if I don't start reading them now. So here's some of the ones that I currently want to read. And I have like two boxes. I have like a plastic tubby and like two boxes of books. And these are ones that I just recently bought within the last 2 years. I either got them at thrift stores, Goodwills, or the Little Free Library. I got a majority of these from that Little Free Library. In fact, a few of these are actually art copies. And, I understand if you don't like the book and everything, but me, I've never gotten an art copy, so I don't know. Even if I didn't really like it that much, I don't know if I'd give it away, right? Because you're like getting a book before it gets out there. But anyways, this is yeah. These are the books that I'm going to be reading soon. So this is, I want to say Gallant. Is that how you say it? As you can see, again, Advanced Readers Edition. Not for sale. I didn't buy this. This came out of a Little Free Library. I am currently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which is by V.E. Schwab, Victoria Schwab here. Not even really sure what this one is about. But I'm liking Addie LaRue, so I'm thinking I'm going to like this one. And let's see, what does it say? Everything casts a shadow, even the world we live in, and as with every shadow, there's a place where it must touch, esteem the shadow its source. Okay, so I know from Addie LaRue, and I think a couple other things that I've heard, that I think she writes a lot of like fantasy and like magic stuff. So again, I liked Addie LaRue, or I'm liking it, so I think I might like this one. Girls of Paper and Fire. So I'm pretty sure this one is about, again, it's like I think another kind of like fantasy thing with like a caste system and stuff. And let me see. In my land, we're known as paper girls, easily torn, existing only for others to use and discard. But there's something they've all forgotten about paper. It can light the world on fire. Lay is the paper caste, so yeah, the lowest and most oppressed caste in, I'm not really sure how to say that. Even so, rumors of her golden eyes have piqued the king's interest. So yeah, magical girl, basically, interested royalty. It sounds interesting. And then we have an ember in the ashes. And I think this one is about a girl whose brother is imprisoned, I believe. Yeah, her brother is arrested for treason. She is forced to make a decision in exchange for help from rebels who promised to rescue her brother. Okay, it says, under the martial empire, defiance is met with death. I want to say Laia and her family do not challenge the empire. So, yeah, again, as a lot of these seem like fantasy books, fantasy / dystopian, which is, kind of becoming my thing. Wish Tree. Catherine Applegate. I really liked The One and Only Ivan. That one was really good. And I read The One and Only Bob, and I'm now reading The One and Only um, Ruby. That's her name? Yeah, the elephant one. So this, I believe, is about a tree, that people wish on, and I think it's kind of about maybe the people like that wished on the tree and stuff. It sounded really good. Then we have The Count of Monte Cristo. Classic revenge story. I know there was a movie, probably movies that I've seen. Never read the book though. And this thing is thick. Oh my god. Look at that. Like 800 something pages. 28,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Again, classic literature. I never really knew exactly what this was about. Got this in the free little library, so. And then I was like reading the back, I'm like, that sounds interesting. The problem is the font. Oh, that font isn't too bad, but this one, that is small. So this is definitely going to be half audio, I can tell you that right now. They both die at the end. So this was on one of my TBRs. And it's about the future, basically, where there's like this radio show or something. There's like a way for people to know when you're gonna die and stuff. And then you can pair up with somebody basically for the last day of your life. That sounds terribly sad and interesting. And I love books that make me sad. So, yeah, I've heard mixed things about this one, but most people seem to really like it. I got this at Ollie's. This is Forest of Shadows. The Past has a Way of Returning. So it's based on Frozen 2, which I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Frozen 2 and Frozen 2, but I think I like Frozen 2 a little bit more. This I found in the little free library, driving with the top down. I think this is about a woman who is going on a road trip, and she ends up with, I think, her niece, or her like her brother-in-law's daughter, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it says the daughter of her brother-in-law, so basically like her step-niece. Looks like it might be like a fun read. When Life Gives You Vampires, I think this is about a woman who goes on a date, and her date accidentally turns her into a vampire. Don't read a whole lot of romance stuff, but that kind of sounded interesting. Pax, I think this is about a boy who had a pet fox, and he has to give up the fox, and fox kind of like tries to find his way back to the boy. Sounds really like heartwarming, and I just love that artwork on the cover there. A Spindle Splintered. This, I guess, is a like feminist retelling of Sleeping Beauty. It's short, it sounds interesting, and again, free library. Woman Hollering Creek, Sandra Cisneros. Hopefully I said that right. I loved The House on Mango Street, and these are short stories. I'm really looking forward to that. Hello Universe. I think this is about like a group of different types of kids that kind of end up together, like, lives kind of intertwine in a way. And it seems to have won an award. Oh, Newbery Medal. Okay. So, pretty thick book for something that's middle grade, but definitely sounds interesting. Philippa Fisher and the Fairy God Sister. So this is about a girl who wants a fairy godmother, but she ends up with a fairy god sister. They don't really get along from what I know. Sounds kind of cute. The Testing. So this, I think, is another one of those dystopian, like YA dystopian, gotta take a test to survive kind of thing. Sounds interesting. So what should I read first?